welcome back to Contemporary Black Voices, where we're talking about the DC Takeover. I'm going to start out with this. Evidently, the Epstein list has some information on it so powerful it has 47 or 47 up in arms, to where I believe not only did Big Ball stage this attack to cause Trump to go ahead and federalize the entire cities, military police, and to send in the federal troops. But I also think that this is a huge distraction that is really making folks more adamant on wanting to see what's on that list. Who's on that list? Thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why people are so enamored with, like Caleb said, this guy has, let the Capitol be sieged. He's jailing people, just at random. And now his name is on the list, and everybody's upset about that. I don't get it.
I mean, because if he's on the list, he's a pedophile. So he's
a convicted felon.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's a rapist, but this makes him a pedophile too. So the thing about this is, though, he keeps feeding the MAGA base red meat to distract them from the Epstein list, right? So, and most of the stuff he's feeding them, he understands his base and he understands their racism. Oh, so I'm going to release Martin Luther King's files, right? He's feeding black people to the base, basically. We're gonna attack DI. He's gonna put that forefront again. We're gonna arrest Barack Obama. So you know what I mean? So every time the base rises up, he's throwing them black folks under the bus.
DC.
I'm gonna take over DC, right? Every time he's feeding his racist base black folks.
Good point. Good
point.
So
it's again, a lot of them, they'll buy it for a few seconds. They'll buy it. Yeah, we're gonna arrest Barack, and then next thing you know, but then they continue to, okay, well, that's good, but what Epstein files, man? You know what I mean? So, and he has to feed him something else.
So you're telling me that a pedophile trumps everything? To use that word,
I think that because a lot of his bases, they still have the remnants of the old Christian Coalition for the base, and
But with Christians, that you shouldn't be treated.
These are Republican Christians.
Okay.
But no, I mean, it's just, I think that might be a bridge too far. If there's anything else, I know he said I could shoot somebody in Central Park or Fifth Avenue or whatever, and they still vote for me, and which they would. But this might be the one bridge that's too far. If he's on that list, which they say he visited Epstein Island, the pilot said he visited over 30-something times. I mean, hey, this we'll know it. We'll know or not. If
he wasn't drinking chocolate milk out there.
I don't think so. So we'll know. We'll know if this is actually a bridge too far for MAGA base.
Well, I believe you're probably right, because even Ghislaine Maxwell, I heard this week they're going to not release her from prison, but even release the constraints that she has. She can go and come as she chooses.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. That's next. And then next thing you know, it's home confinement.
Right.
So they're doing it slow. They transfer her to Texas.
Right.
They put in a minimum security.
Right.
They're going to say, oh, she's not a threat. Oh, she can come and go now. She can get it.
And she's getting all of this.
Community.
So she doesn't say anything about Trump.
Yeah. And next thing you know, it's going to be, okay, we're going to release her on home confinement.
Right.
Okay, black folks. So what does this impact mean for you?
So far, they've been feeding us under the bus, throwing us under the bus,
We got search and frisk, or frisk and search. We got that going on now.
Yeah. The idea that, hey, you could tell the police you could do whatever you want to. I mean, just you've seen it in the people who are getting arrested, and the topic that we're going to cover during Hot Topics. The people who are getting charged, the people who are not getting charged. You can see the impact of on the boldness of some people nowadays who are feeling unconstrained or saying things that they normally would not say.
There's one video where the police are just in a black community. They're sitting on their porch minding their own business. The police want to know why, basically, why are you on your porch?
Yeah.
What are you smoking? You're the only one that's smoking something.
You see that? I mean, I seen the video, the horrific video where they broke the young black man's windows and drug him out the car. And so they don't have to worry about the Justice Department saying you violated this individual's civil rights. That's out the window. He gutted the Civil Rights Division. One of the first things they did.
Right.
So they don't, so yeah, under this administration and other things that he's been doing so far, we're paying for it dearly. We're catching hell, and we're going to continue to catch hell. And now you have an unrestrained DC police department.
So let me ask your opinion on this. Do as black folks, do we fight back? Because for me, the revolution has been very slow.
Mm-hmm.
You posted something that was very, very interesting. We can remember back in the 60s, even the 70s, where we were seeing the revolutionary songs like What's Going On,
Right.
Ball of Confusion by the Temptations, even, there's a whole bunch of songs.
Right.
Even the Jackson 5 had Can You Feel It, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which to me was a protest song. We were having all these songs coming out, and we don't hear protest songs now.
Ain't no such thing.
It's as if we have a generation lost in their ability to have gain access to a lot of stuff, but the historical nature and context of those songs and why
Right.
those songs were done, they're not looking at that, which to me is also a factor to where a lot of our younger folks don't understand why voting
Right.
is important
Right.
and why we had all those lost
And
souls.
believe me, it would help if our artists were talking about why voting is important.
But they
It-
can't.
Huh?
But a lot of them can't
Why?
because they're tied up with whatever. If you speak about this, you lose this. Maybe on their contracts.
I think it comes down to this generation is so immersed into the system that a lot of times they don't even realize white supremacy. They don't even realize
true.
that they're being oppressed
That's
or
true.
the level or depth
That's true.
of the oppression. If you're born in a room with nothing but helium and you grew up in a room with helium, you don't know what oxygen feels like. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
so to you, oxygen is abnormal and helium is
Right,
normal. You know what I
right,
mean? And so
right.
it's just this generation doesn't understand because they grew up in a society that where white supremacy just permeates everything.
When you were talking about the historical context, I couldn't help but think about our Black Wall Streets, or in other Black communities that were
Right.
sustaining themselves. They weren't gentrified at that point
Right.
or anything. I believe that if white folks had a chance, they would have gentrified those locations. But the takeover was there.
No, I think honestly, I think if they would have had shit, they would have just burned it down like they did. That's just it's because it's a
Let it
racial.
out.
Right, this
Let it out.
country is about a racial hierarchy.
So let me
And-
get back to the question. Is there anything we can do as black folks, and should we fight back?
But again, it's just how the first question is how do we fight back? right?
Okay.
Do we
And-
want to fight back?
I mean, we definitely need to, but it's just a matter of how, right? How do we go about fighting back? How do we go about
If we ain't figured that out by now, we should have had that figured out right after the.
well, I mean, it's not that we don't have.
No,
to
I
figure it
don't.
out,
I don't
but
disagree
it's
with
just
you.
that it's one like the saying, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of them that Harriet would have left behind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even if we do provide prescriptions, how many of them are actually going to listen and follow?
That's true.
Because people are comfortable. A lot of people are comfortable in a system of oppression.
Okay.
A lot of people want to get up. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur. A lot
Right.
of people want to get up and go to work. And a lot, you know what I mean? Because people are comfortable in their circumstance.
You preaching,
A lot
brother.
of people don't want to take risks
Yeah.
or be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And being a revolutionary is uncomfortable.
Right.
You
You know what I mean?
They're probably waiting for someone else to start it.
That-
And we're here on this panel, and we've seen a whole lot. We get criticized. You're too old. You don't understand. But we do understand. What do you think? We understand. We understand that if you don't protect what was fought for, then the reverse happens to where now my biggest concern is that if the resistance is not maintained, not just by, by all of us,
Mhm.
then what's the impact of those actions on our children, our grandchildren, and so forth? How many generations will it take to correct this? So there's just a lot going on, and I really do hope that those of you who didn't vote really think about what was reparations really needed, and could we have gotten the reparations later on? Was it something we needed immediately to protect what we have now?
Good closing remarks.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have something, but we out of time.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to end this discussion about the DC takeover. I hope we have comments from you guys. And as we like to say, this is Contemporary Black Voices telling our story our way.